Do a little high five.
And when we miss, it'll be like,
Whoa.
hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I think we're live.
Yeah, I don't know which way to look.
I know, right? Now we just have to look at our
I'm
cameras.
going to do that.
All right.
I'm going to ignore the guy sitting to my left and look
All
at
right.
my camera.
So you showed up at like a little after 4, and now it's a little after 5. We've been trying to go live for an hour and figure out what we're doing. So here we are. Here we jam. Ash Wednesday, 2026, attempting to go live.
No?
And at this point, we're just going to go with it. And who knows if you can hear us, because we didn't invite anyone to do this because that's how confident we are.
Hey, I think, the fact that we're here and we're trying it, this is good. And hopefully you'll get something out of it too.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Okay. So now discovering that Substack, when you go live, they want you to be in 2 separate rooms. But that won't work for this episode because this is Ash Wednesday, and Ash Wednesday has this very visceral, physical connection, right? And so we actually need to be in the same room, which is kind of an interesting. All right, just to think about Substack, right? Not actually thinking about the host being in the same place, like it's designed for a lack of physical contact. And isn't that an interesting commentary on where we are socially in our world?
Yeah, or it just might be that we are not smart enough to figure it out. I'm guessing the latter.
Oh, you think so?
Well, I think there may be an element of truth to both, but
yeah.
I mean, when in doubt, err on my idiocy is where I go. So.
All right, good. Yeah, so you actually did the good work of thinking about like how we should order through this episode. So rather than me like getting distracted with like you better take the helm here.
Well, hey, we're glad you're here. If you're watching this, hopefully at some point we might have some folks join us. But right now it is Joel and I. But hey, Christ tells us that where 2 are gathered, there Christ will be also. So we're not alone.
Yeah.
But here we are on Ash Wednesday, doing our first live attempt of the Here We Jam podcast, episode 4. So let's talk about Ash Wednesday. Joel, what does Ash Wednesday mean to you?
I think it means more, so I turned 52 last month, and
congratulations.
Thanks. Just, surviving this long. And so I think it means more the older I get. I wouldn't say that it's one of those festival days in the church year that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get me some ashes, right? So I think it's maybe because it's not a festival day that I lean into, like naturally, it makes me think about how the church for thousands of years has been saying, no, this is a needed part of this communal faith. So, yeah. I think maybe that's all I got. What about you? What does Ash Wednesday for you?
I mean, I think on the flip side, I don't know if I would say that it's a day that I look forward to, but or say that I've got to get myself some ashes, as you put it. But I think that there is, I have reverence for this day. I think, and I think there's both and that exists in the church, and I think particularly for us Lutherans, we claim it, right? We just did our episode on Epiphany where we talked about baptism, and baptism being a major theme of Epiphany is intertwined with death, and I think similarly as we think about Ash Wednesday and the mortality that we are faced with in Ash Wednesday, there is still room for hope and resurrection. It is, I think we still find it, and I'm excited to talk about the songs that we've curated in this playlist, and Happy to see that somebody has joined us. Katie Day. Hey, how's that? So, welcome, Katie. Feel free to share your thoughts on Ash Wednesday in the chat, or any songs that may jump out at you. But
Yeah, right.
when we recorded last, actually, when we recorded Epiphany, I left and said we should do an Ash Wednesday episode, and maybe we'll figure out what that would look like. But I started creating the playlist before I even got to the car, and the first song that I put on there was a David Bowie song. Ashes to Ashes.
Wait a second. You just said David Bowie?
David Bowie. I mean,
I was like, oh, is this one of those linguistic things between, someone who grew up in Wales, but it's Bowie?
I would call him Bowie.
Yeah, right. Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay, good.
Well, I mean, I might slip sometimes.
That's good. Well, we're live now, and I've called you out on it. So,
but no, Ashes to Ashes.
So this song comes from.
This song.
I didn't know the song, so I'm relatively new to David Bowie, or not new. I mean, obviously I know who he is, but I was not familiar with his Ashes to Ashes song. We'll get to, but this song, having David Bowie in the playlist, actually made me put in a later song in this playlist. So I'll tell you about it a little bit. So tell me, besides the actual, it's called Ashes to Ashes, what is the what's the other connection for you in this song?
Well, it's the mortality. I mean, this is a hark back to Space Odyssey, which was an earlier album. It's 10 years later, and it contains the line, it's talking about Major Tom. Being in heaven, well, being deceased, I guess. Like, that we all know Major Tom is a junkie up in heaven. It's like, so it's hard to escape the mortality that Bowie is talking about. And as I mentioned earlier, I think even with Ash Wednesday, you've got this point forward to resurrection. David Bowie is an artist of resurrection.
Yes,
as a perfectionist of reinventing himself. So it was those twin themes that made me think, this is the first song that sets the stall for how I'm jumping into Ash Wednesday and therefore Lent. So
I love it.
I give you David Bowie. I give you Ashes to Ashes.
Excellent. Okay, so then, and that was the first song you added to the playlist. Yes. Now, you added 3 songs before I did, but the next song we actually have in the order is what?
It is Ashes.
By Jonathan Rundman.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan is another personal friend, musician, also a Lutheran pastor, lives in Minneapolis. And this song comes off of his Sound Theology album, where he wrote a song for every week in the church year. So it's a double album, 52 songs.
Sounds like it might be created for us.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Playlist,
right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and so Jonathan and we both had 10 years living in Chicago that overlapped. And this was recorded when he was living in Chicago. And I was a church music director in Chicago in the 90s. So this is, now 30 years ago. But Jonathan is just a wonderful songwriter and a friend. And for those of you in South Dakota, he was our assembly musician last year. So he led the assembly music with his spouse, the Dr. Dawn Rundman, and singing with him on this song is Becky Hemingway, who has, you should go find her music too. All kinds of music out there that you can find from Becky Hemingway. And if memory serves, Becky is a descendant of the famous Ernest Hemingway. And she writes great music too. And so that's the 2 voices that you hear on this song. And it is just it's a celebration of this holiday, this day in the church year. So it had to go on the playlist. And so that's the second track.
And I hadn't heard it. And I think when Joel put it on there and I played it, it was like, I think I may just texted him immediately. It was like, I love this song. Like I feel like I was in the car with them talking about the ashes on the head and the snow on the ground. Although really in South Dakota right now we're in unseasonal weather. It's really warm and beautiful.
There's nothing wrong here. Don't there's no warming. Don't worry about it.
I got a question for you though, Joel. It's
okay.
Ash Wednesday. We're way through the afternoon here. We're talking about a song that talks about the ashes,
Ashes.
on the head, and I
It
don't have
hasn't
any, and
happened.
neither do you. How do these people know that we're live?
Well, so we had this conversation, right, about like we should do this live because there's this visceral, like, physical connection to this, and I don't think, as grateful as I am for technologies like this that allow us to be together virtually or connected over long distances, there is something about the practice of faith that requires this, which you can't. He's over there.
High five.
So Jamie did the good work of going to his congregation and getting ashes because I was in work meetings all day. So we have the liturgy from the Evangelical Lutheran Worship Hymnal open here, and so I'm still thinking I'll try and get to where my spouse Amy is leading Ash Wednesday services tonight. But I don't know if you've got some kids that are sick at home.
Sick kids that are at home, so
yeah,
I'm taking this home with me to do them too.
Oh, that's see that but I think that's that I'm so glad to hear that, right? To think about these practices as connected, like the intimacy of connection. Yeah, I just think that's really good, right? All right, so enough talking.
No.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Jamie, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return.
Joel, remember that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. Almost.
Yeah, keep.
Almost.
So I think that there's a there's a concern for and there should be some maybe some somber or some levity to it, but I also think that both and, right? Yeah.
Well, I think the both and, I mean, I realize the next song is yours, but the both and, I think that there is space for faith and doubt. Mm-hmm. If we're talking, those twin themes, and the next song that you put there, actually the next couple of songs that we put in there, I think speak to that room for doubt and not being afraid of it. So do you want to talk a little bit about Jesus, I Have My Doubts?
Jesus, I Have My Doubts is just one of those. So we, in one of our earlier playlists, and since this is episode 4, you could go find the earlier playlist, but there's
they are all available on Substack, so you can subscribe. Katie and Jody, you never know, and you can subscribe and go back and listen.
The band is the Fiction Family, which is John Foreman, who is singing this "Jesus, I Have My Doubts" song, and the really great guitarist Sean Watkins, and John Foreman is known mainly for this other group called Switchfoot, which they do fine music too, but I really am more interested in his solo work. And so this Jesus, I Have My Doubts tune is, well, I mean, I think we touched a little bit on it in our Epiphany episode about just the tensions arising out of American society right now, and really global society too. But how they're really at home for me, because the majority of my adult life has been as a resident of Minneapolis, even though I don't live there now, and so it's a season of doubt, and so that just led me to this tune, about Jesus, I Have My Doubts. Right.
I really appreciated you adding it, and I think I'll talk a little bit about the song that I put in that speaks to that same theme, but it validated. I mean, the thoughts we you go through the procession to get your imposition of ashes, and I can't escape this term that we use in the church, ensure and certain hope, and how that might sound like a both and, an oxymoron almost, like sure and certain hope. Like we get our ashes and we claim our mortality whilst remaining hopeful of a resurrection. And I think that it is okay for us to look in the world and see the continued mortality that surrounds us and the pain that surrounds us. And it's okay for us to doubt it's okay for us to lament. I think the scripture gives us that space, that freedom to doubt and to lament and to feel concern. And that's where the hope then comes back again, is through sharing that concern, sharing that lament, and being with other people you can find still room for hope. And so being part of a procession of people that go through to receive their imposition of ashes, as you will later today, like that you won't be alone, that you will be able to be with others.
As you were saying this, I was reading the next line in the liturgy, which is just this: accomplish in us, O God, the work of your salvation, that we may show forth your glory in the world. Right? And that's, yeah, both and. Jesus, I got my doubts, and still accomplish in us the work of your salvation. Yeah.
So my song that I think speaks into that area of doubt, I actually almost put it into the Epiphany playlist because of the title is "Ocean Breeze Salty" by Modest Mouse, and there was also that theme within Epiphany, which talked of the us as salt of the earth, salt for the earth, and I almost did, and then as I left here again last time, I was like, it is more a Lenten song, is more an Ash Wednesday song. The lead singer is singing about the loss of a friend and the doubts that he has about what happens to his friend next, but that the hope that he has that something, the afterlife will exist for him, but actually maybe not all that hopeful. His hope is more for his friend's sake than it is for anything else. And it seems perhaps strange to put a song where the lines at the end, why wait? You hope you wasted life, therefore you'll waste the afterlife. I mean, I got all close to it. The lyric. It might seem strange for me to put that in there, but I think I can hear that as a continued conversation between his friend and himself, and where God has this opportunity to enter in as well. Or at least that's how I'm receiving it, or how the Spirit is allowing me to receive it. So
cool.
Ocean Breeze Salty. Yeah.
So the next song, the third one that I added.
Yeah.
Right. It's so it's because of the Bowie song.
Okay.
So and stylistically it doesn't fit.
Right? No, but I'm sorry, I'm eager to hear about this. So I'm going to just pause because I think when I heard it, so Nature Boy,
which is a classic song.
It's a beautiful song, and it's very jazz forward, I think is the phrase that I used when I came in here today, and I was like, this sounded like an Advent song. So help me understand how we got it in Lent, Joel.
Okay, we got it in Lent because David Bowie has recorded a version of Nature Boy.
Okay.
And so you can look for the recording of David Bowie's, it's David Bowie and Massive Attack recording Nature Boy for the soundtrack for Moulin Rouge. And so which is a fine and really lovely recording. But then this recording, Kurt Elling is a musician who grew up here in the Midwest. If I understand correctly, I believe he's a graduate of Gustavus Adolphus College, which is a Lutheran university college that's a couple couple hours from here. It's
Right, the one in St. Peter,
St. Peter, Minnesota. Yep.
which has the best co-op in.
Oh yeah, that co-op is
Minnesota.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and so if you're going through St. Peter, go stop at the River Rock Cafe and get yourself a lovely beverage or locally sourced meal. But also the co-op is good. That's just down the block from there.
Yeah.
But so Kurt Elling, if I understand correctly, he grew up in a Lutheran church. His dad, a Lutheran organist, went to Gustavus. If I understand, and someone correct me if I'm wrong here, actually went to seminary like you and I went to seminary, but decided to become a jazz singer. And his version here of Nature Boy is just phenomenal, just so good. And the song for me, how it ties to Lent, I think you're right. It ties to redemption, right? There was a boy, a certain strange enchanted boy
Yeah.
who said he traveled very far over land and sea, a little shy and sad of eye, right? And what he says is the greatest joy you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. And if there's a culmination to this ashes to ashes, I remember your dust, to dust you will return. And then there's something else.
Yeah.
So this song for me, it really gets me. And if you ever have a chance to go see Kurt Elling live, he usually comes back in the Midwest. I think he lives in New York City now, but gotten to see him live. Took my dad's a big fan of jazz, and so we got to go see. Took my parents out to see him at the Dakota Jazz Club in downtown Minneapolis a couple of years ago, and it's just a blast. He's just an excellent musician who also comes from around here, right? So those are all those connections. All right, so then we go from that to your last song, and you insisted this had to be the ending. So
it's the first time I think I've insisted on placement,
which is great.
Song.
Great. We're learning as we go. So
well,
tell me.
There was a couple of reasons why. It makes most sense maybe as as an opening song, but I think for a number of reasons that I'll share here, I think to me it had to be the last song. A couple of things. Even it's funny how the Holy Spirit works in this way. Like you just meant talking about Moulin Rouge and what prompted this to be in there. This song is taken from a movie about time, which is a British rom-com movie that was just playing in the State Theatre this last weekend for Valentine's Day.
I haven't seen it. So what's the movie?
It's called About Time.
About Time.
It's not. I'm not going to say that it's a bad movie because it's actually I love it and I enjoy watching it, but it's a guilty pleasure. I will say that.
Okay, all right.
The concept of it is that there's the males in this family of the protagonist can go back in time. Once they hit a certain age, they can go back in time and relive certain elements of their life to kind of change if they want to, but they can't. Like once a child is born, if they went back and changed anything, it might mess things up.
Yes, yeah, right.
So this is how the main character ends up with Rachel McAdams because he tries multiple times, and they keep kind of getting by each other, and then like goes back in time to kind of secure his relationship with her. But there's a scene right at the end where his dad. It's a spoiler alert. I can still enjoy it for you, but his dad has cancer, and then we're stalling. Oh, wait, sorry, pause. His dad has cancer, and he ends up being diagnosed with stage 4, and it's right before his daughter is born. So they both know that they can't go back in time anymore without messing up the current timeline.
Okay.
But they go back one last time. They go back to a time when he was a child, when nobody else was around. It's just the two of them running through the sands of Devon, the Devonshire cliffs. And then this song plays. And it's... So my friend that I said is the media expert, she's the one that recommended it to me, and she was like, you will need tissues. I'm getting teary just thinking about it because she knows. I mean, I lost my dad 15 years ago, around about this time, actually. It'll be his anniversary, will be next week. And I watched that movie, and at the end of it, the first thought I had was, I know exactly where I'm going. If I ever have that, like if I had that, if I had that that gift, I would be going back to being 4 years old, walking home from school with my dad, getting fish and chips and a steak and kidney pie, and eating it with him before my brothers came home from school, because that was our time. We got 2 hours, 3 hours, just the two of us.
Right.
And the lyrics to this song, I've sung them to my daughter. She doesn't like me singing it because she knows what the song is about. She knew what the song was about without me even telling her. I started singing it, and she's like, this song makes me sad. And I was like, why does it make you sad? Because it sounds like it's somebody that's leaving. It's like, it is, but can you also hear what he's saying? Like, it's how long will I love you? As long as the oceans need to follow their plan. How long will I love you? As long as you need me, and longer by far. Like, so a parent's love, God's love, is as long as it's needed, and then some. And I think, as I think about the gospel reading, particularly today, and where we get to put our treasure in our heart, and the love that we get to share with God, it is one that is unending. And it's a reminder of, despite the fact that I have these ashes on my head that tell me that I'm mortal, as you said, there's something more. And that God's love will be with me as long as I need it, and then some.
Yep.
Hey.
Thanks. Glad you're here. And for those of you who, here's the thing, we talked about it. I railed against it a little bit last episode, the needing or desire to have a short playlist, because I want all the songs in there. And yet, here's the thing that would mark success for me, is that if you shared your favorite song in the playlist. So Katie Day is asking, so what is the song?
The song is How Long Will I Love You? Sorry. How Long Will I Love You by John Bowden and Sam Sweeney. All of these songs, if you hit subscribe, when we send the note out, it will have the reflections on it and the playlist.
Yes.
Available in Apple Music, Spotify, and other platforms, whichever ones you use. But I think Joel is actually.
I'm going to try and post things that you can tell that we're doing this for the first time.
Will be available to you from there. But Katie, we appreciate you asking.
I think this might be Katie Day, who is one of my professors at seminary. And if it is the Reverend Dr. Katie Day, then it is good to see you online, and glad to have a Bonhoeffer scholar on our first live Substack.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I love it! I love it!
Fantastic! And you stayed the whole time. Look at that. We didn't turn anybody away.
All right. Well, so good. There's 2 links there now in the chat, and we'll get the Spotify up there too, and you can find it in lots of places. So, but if you have an Ash Wednesday song that, or a song that just speaks to you of this season, since we can't share the ashes, I'd love to if we could share a song. So go ahead, whenever you're seeing this, post that song. And hey, thanks for jamming with us. And are we going to do a full Lenten episode too?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got to figure out when we're going to do that.
But we do.
Maybe I don't know if we go live again. I think this might be
we'll see. A challenge.
See.
All right.
Hey,
blessed Ash Wednesday to you all. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
All right. Here we jam.
Here we jam.